Okay, so in this video, we're going to do 3 examples together, and then we'll do the last 3 examples in class. Okay, so it's our job to figure out how we're getting from one function to another. Okay, and we're going to have to graph. So let's use a ruler so we can be exact. So it says graph f of x and g of x. Then describe the transformations from the graph of f of x to the graph of g of x. So I recommend using different colors so that you can see what's happening. So I'm going to graph f of x in purple. F of x has a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 0. So I'm going to start at 0, go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, over and over and over again. Okay? And then I'm going to graph it. So there's f of x. Okay, and now I'm going to graph g of x in a different color. X plus 5, so I start at 5, and I have a slope of 1, up 1 over 1, over and over and over again. Okay. Hopefully you're better at graphing lines than I am. These 2 lines are parallel, that's cool. Okay, so let's figure out what the heck happened between these 2 lines. What kind of transformation happened? I didn't change the slope, right? So that's not a reflection or a rotation. Those 2 things affect the slope. I changed the y-intercept. My intercept went from 0 to 5. Okay, the transformation that happens when I change the y-intercept is a vertical translation. So we're going to write vertical translation. And since my y-intercept increased from 0 to 5, it went up that much. So it's a vertical translation up 5 units. Okay? That's how I got from f of x to g of x. I went up 5. Okay? You don't have to draw those arrows. It's not a big deal. Okay? So let's do 2 more examples. So it's on the other side here. All right. We're doing the same thing, so I recommend using different colors. I'm going to use blue and orange on this one. So graph the first one, f of x equals 2x minus 1. So we're starting here at negative 1. We're going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Okay. Using our ruler, we're going to graph it. So there's f of x. And now we're going to graph g of x using a different color. Okay, so we're starting at negative 1, and we're going to go up 4 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. 4 over 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we could draw our little line. Okay. So now we have to figure out what the heck happened between these 2 lines. I did not change the y-intercept. The y-intercept is the same. I changed the slope. My slope got bigger. Okay? So if we go back to our other page that describes all the different transformations, when I change the slope, it's a rotation. And since my slope went from 2 to 4, my slope increased, so the line is steeper. Okay? We need to figure out where the line rotated about. Okay, the y-intercept, so we have to figure out rotation, about, and then what's the y-intercept for both of these points? If you said negative 1, 0, negative 1, that's the point at which they rotated about. You might notice that's where they intersect. That is where they rotated. Okay, so rotated about 0, negative 1. And I also want you to tell me, did it get steeper or flatter? It started on the blue and turned to the orange, so it actually went and got steeper. So I want you to tell me, did it get steeper or flatter? Okay? This one next, we're starting with our basic parent function, and we're doing 2 transformations. So I recommend using 3 different colors when you have 2 transformations. Okay, so I'm going to use blue, pink, and green. Okay, so I'm going to start with my basic parent function. So starting at 0, going up 1 over 1, over and over and over. Then we graph. Staple's kind of getting in the way. Okay. Now I'm going to take one transformation at a time. I'm going to make the line, we'll call it h of x equals 1/2 x. So it's only one of these transformations, okay? So I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to start at 0 and using a different color, like blue, go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. Okay. I'm going to graph that line. So we can see what happened there, the first part. All right. And now we're going to do g of x, which is this guy here. So we're starting at -7, 2, 4, 6, 7, and going up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. Okay. So you might be able to see where I'm going with this. This makes it a little bit easier to see what two transformations happened. Okay. So let's figure out what happened here. How did I get from the green to the blue? Well, I rotated it. So number 1 was a rotation about what point? About 0, 0. That's where they intersect. That's where my rotation happened. Rotation about 0, 0. Okay, making the line flatter. Okay. So we made it flatter. And then the second thing that happened, how did I get from the blue to the pink? Well, that's a vertical translation. Vertical translation, I went down 7. Okay, so that is how you do 2 different transformations in one line. You can do 3 different graphs, or you could have just done the first and the second and then written the 2 transformations that way. I think it's easier to draw the first and then pick one of these to draw and then pick one with both to draw, and then you can see exactly what happened. All right, so that's it for this video. In class, we're going to do the next 3 examples together.